Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel, and we've got over 400 audios for you to check out on a variety of topics. If you are dealing with having overcome a breakdown, obviously, certainly if you feel you're going to have one, it is worth getting more traditionalized mental health care. But the after effects of breakdown can take sometimes weeks, months, to overcome and kind of reset your life. And as a life, business, and relationship and entertainment coach, I help people kind of restructure lives and belief systems a great deal. So that is my wheelhouse and something I can help with. But what are the signs that you have had or are having a breakdown? So there's about 8 or 10 things I want to run through in this audio. If there is something I can do for you, please feel free to comment below. But also, please feel free to reach out on my website, which is available in the About Me section of this YouTube channel, or at PO Perception on Twitter. The first thing is your sleep schedule gets off. So person who is overthinking, a person who is ruminating, a person who is in rapid cycling of negative thoughts and emotions is an individual who, for the most part, is capable of kind of going back over the same thing over and over and over again. And that can mess with your sleep schedule. We've all, or almost all, had experiences where we kind of, are up all night or up all day thinking over the same issues. We don't come to resolution, we don't get anywhere, but we certainly are kind of reliving, rethinking, and redeveloping those thoughts, and that can be very problematic. The next is obviously oversleeping. So if you can't handle the world, if you can't handle your stressors, if you can't handle what's going on in your world, or you feel as though there is no solution, you're just going to go to sleep and not want to get up. Now, that doesn't mean you're a weak person, doesn't mean you're an unsmart person, an unwell person, or somehow broken, but what it does mean is that your body is telling you and your mind is telling you, hey, I can't deal with this, and so I'm about to just check out completely. And one of the ways we can do that, and one of the ways we do that for purposes of recharging, but also many times for purposes of escape, is oversleeping. And so that can be another sign. Depression. If you struggle with depression, both prolonged or situational depression, seasonal depression, this can be a sign of a breakdown. If you are clinically depressed or chronically depressed and you don't get treatment and or you aren't working with somebody, you ultimately can kind of put your brain into an overdrive state where a shutdown is almost inevitable. Imagine that your brain is a car, and imagine if you flood it with, you know, a lot of attempt at forward motion, but you have it in park. In other words, you can't go anywhere, but you're hitting the gas pedal. Sooner or later, you're going to burn that car out, that engine out. And the same thing happens when you're dealing with depression but not getting resolution, and that can cause a breakdown situation. The next thing is inactivity or inefficiency. So, a person who is near or has had a breakdown is a person who goes to take action and then is so indecisive they're incapable of taking any action. And so, kind of the rethinking and the redeveloping, kind of the aligning and the second guessing, and then the okay, I'm closer to a decision, and you cycle back around. So most of that can be called figure eighting, from negative emotion to negative emotion. So you might be figure eighting from fear to guilt. You might be anger to sadness. You might be indecisiveness to second guessing. In other words, you're just looping between negative emotions and never taking any actions consistently or progressively. The next one is you feel no emotions or your emotions are muted. So this may mean that you are kind of feeling like a zombie. You may disassociate from your own body or circumstances. You may struggle with feelings of feeling numb or ineffective, or as though things are happening to you but you have no control, you have no ability to respond, that sort of thing. This goes along with the inability to clear your head, sometimes known as brain fog. it's kind of the idea where you are feeling like, okay, this is going on, and this is going on, and this is going on, and I'll feel better in 5 minutes. Let me just think this through. And then an hour's gone by, and you don't feel any better, and you've made no motion, and you don't feel any clearer minded. Matter of fact, you may even feel worse. This can cause you to have lack of focus. It can cause daydreaming. It can cause kind of forgetfulness, memory loss, mismanagement or misuse of time. There's a whole bunch of things that this can create when you can't clear your head. The next one is really simple, but self care becomes overwhelming. It becomes too much to handle. So, self care means things like getting dressed, getting up and getting something to eat, making sure you sleep, take a shower, brush your teeth, all these things. Now, we all have days where we're lazy. We may even have periods of depression that last, a few days to a week where I'm just not there. But when it lasts more than a week, you're kind of getting into that area where you're neglecting self-care, and self-neglect can be a form of self-hatred, but it can also be a sign that your brain is so overwhelmed with indecision and or inability to take positive, progressive, continual action that you actually have gotten to a place of self-loathing or apathetic indifference, which it can be another sign of a breakdown. The next thing is you kind of you pull out of social engagements for an extended period of time. Look, we've all had periods of time where um, dealing with people, be it online, be it offline, be it by phone, be it by, in person, whatever have you, can become overwhelming. I can honestly share my perfect situation is an on day and off day. So I love being around people, provided I have a day in between, which is what makes being self-employed so valuable. Because that means I can be around people 3 or 4 days a week, and I've hit my sweet spot, and that's enough. But I've also given myself time to recharge and time to kind of reflect if conversations didn't go well, or if things went really well and I want to celebrate that, or if I need to reevaluate the effectiveness or efficiency of a relationship. That's my standard. And so I've created a life that allows me to live in that manner. And it works for me. Now, it may not work for you, but if you are a person who is going through a breakdown and you were previously social, and all of a sudden being social just feels like you're being asked to carry a log up an icy hill, chances are you may be close to or have experienced a breakdown, because change in social pattern is there as well. If you have physical symptoms, in other words, you get dizzy, you have heart palpitations, it's hard to focus, you may have blurred vision, you may have heart palpitations and racing, you may feel nauseous, you may get headaches. If there's a bunch of physical symptoms where you never feel well, or your physical pain level has increased, there's a chance, a very good one as a matter of fact, that you're having a breakdown. Because when your mind can't function properly, the signals in your brain that are sent ultimately are sent in a manner that allow you to kind of be overwhelmed with physical pain sensors as well, and your body kind of overloads. So it's kind of like imagining pouring water on an electrical appliance. There's a chance things could short circuit. And that's what happens when your emotional pain kind of carries over into your physical pain sensors, and this can be dangerous for a number of reasons. The last one, which I'm sure we all know, but it may not be something we want to deal with, is food. Food on either side, changes in your eating pattern. Either you start to starve yourself or you start to gorge. Either way, if changes in food for more than a couple of days persist. So, we all have cheat days. We all have days where we're not hungry. We might have days where we're not feeling well physically. But if you get to a point of 7 to 10 days or longer, and your food consumption has drastically changed continually for that length of period or longer, this can be a sign of a breakdown. So hopefully this has been helpful. I encourage you to keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Till next time, everybody.